Hello, welcome. Today I'm going to work on this Shimano 1055 short cage rear derailleur. This one's brand new in the box, or old stock in any case, so I don't think it's ever been used. So I'll be lucky enough not to have to clean this one. It's a 6/7 speed. I'm going to show you how to disassemble the derailleur and then put it back together again. So let's get started. So first thing we're going to do is remove the anchor bolt. You know what, I think I'm going to leave that in there because that's always annoying to take back out again. Take off the rear cable adjuster. We're going to take off the jockey wheel bolts. Take off the back one, it's a bit easier to kind of flex it behind here. If you have an Allen key that has the ability to take off bolts at an angle, you'll be able to do like I'm doing now. Oops. So the rear cage. Going to take off this bolt. I'm going to be careful not to scratch anything on mine. So now to remove the this cage plate and also to get access to the bottom pivot, we're going to need to remove first this screw right here with a Phillips. This is my favourite one for removing these screws. Now this is going to detension. And we now have access to this screw right here that we need to undo. And you can now kind of remove this. There's kind of like a seal that's at the bottom, and you'll have access to the spring. For the top knuckle, there's a circlip right here that needs to be removed, so we need to just catch onto it here on the back. And that went flying into my finger. You can push that pivot out, and there's a seal on the other side. I guess we can remove these, why not? So this will be your part now for the cleaning. You can add Teflon grease, that's what I usually use in my derailleurs, as it's very easily commercially available. Although you can use, if you want, Shimano grease, which is a bit more expensive. So now we're going to move on to the reassembly. So we're going to put the spring and the bolt back onto the top knuckle. So on this side, I'm going to put the spring back in. There doesn't seem to be any order. The spring seems fairly symmetrical that I can see. So that tip of that spring there is going to go at the back of this into the only hole that there is available. And we're going to take the other side. There's a seal on my one. Your one might be in poor state, but that will go first. And the other tip of that spring is going to go into that hole. So for the next step, we're going to need to tension this and push this back down and put the circlip on. First thing we're going to do is put the pivot bolt back in, or the hanger bolt. Remember to put the seal on yours. So we're going to pop that through, push down, So easiest way to do this is to use a 2.5 Allen key wrench. My one's fairly long. I find this is the easiest way to ever do this. I'm going to put that through, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use the hanger bolt to kind of push against it. So we're going to push down slightly, and using the wrench moving against your arm, we're going to be able to turn this till it gets to that stopper, and then once you get to the stopper you can pretty much push down. Now you want to hold that down with your finger, make sure it doesn't pop out as it hurts, and that's the reason why I took out this limit screw. In fact, put the circlip back into place, get a plier, so we're going to push the clip back in. You can pretty much use any plier for this. I want to be really careful I don't scratch my derailleur. We can now put the limit screw back on. Make sure not to cross thread. I'll leave it in the middle. So for the next spring, so the bottom knuckle, I think it's the B knuckle they call it, I can't remember now. This spring is specific. There's one tip that's clearly more inwards and longer. That's going to go on the opposite side. The shorter tip's going to go into the actual main body itself. So there's a hole at the back there where you want to put that tip of that spring in. So on the other end, this type of plastic seal part came off. So I'm going to just make sure that goes back in. Now there's 2 holes, and I believe, so I guess it's going to be the left side. So originally on this derailleur it's on the left side, but I believe you can put it onto the right side. It actually is just the left or the right is going to determine the amount of tension there is on that spring. So now I'm going to just put that back on to the left hole. Oh, it's falling out. Now on the other side we're going to screw that screw back in. Once you've got that adjusted, you're going to then turn this back anti-clockwise, and you're going to get it into this position, and you're going to need to put that stopper back into place. And now you should be able to just let go, and that's done. So while we've got that tension, I'm going to put the top jockey wheel bolt back in preparation, because after it's hard to put it in. So I'm going to take the top jockey wheel, it'll be marked G pulley or center on. So I'm going to use that number 2 Allen key to tighten up this. We can now put the second jockey wheel back into place. Close that slightly. Let's put back the limit screws. Be very careful not to cross thread these, that's very easy to do. Finally, hope this helped you rebuild your Shimano 1055 Rear Derailleur. This one's now going back into its box. Thank you for listening, and until next time, peace out.